Hello, folks. Wilson Morales from Black Film and TV. Diamond, I think I saw you this morning on TV. You appeared in today's episode.
Oh, got you.
So you're ever working. You're always working. But Fred, before I start off, Fred, obviously you're no stranger to doing voices. So, and obviously you've worked with Marvel before. So, how did it come about for you to doing this role? And is it an easy yes?
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, just say yes, you bet. I mean, first of all, I love Marvel, period, and Disney. I love all of it. I would have yes. It is an easy yes. But the thing was for me it was an audition. I was aware of the characters beforehand. I knew I had some history as Hulk with Devil Dinosaur, so I knew what he was about a little bit. So yeah, it was just a matter of finding the right sound, going from the very fierce to try to make him a softer, friendlier side that people can, when he's dealing with Lunella, and finding it not too soft, but also, and not speaking, it's really finding your own language. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Diamond, it's been a minute since you first shot the first episode, but we're here now. It's finally happening. What's kept you coming for the long journey, and the wait is almost over.
Oh, well, yeah, the wait is almost over. February 10th, everyone will get to see the first episode, and then shortly after on Disney Plus, you'll get the first 6 episodes. But I'm just excited for everyone to see it. We've been working on it for a long time, and this kind of representation is needed in TV and film and animation. So I'm just excited for everyone to get on the Moon Girl train.
Are you as tech savvy as the character?
No. Definitely not. Her superpower is her brain. My superpower is my voice. So yeah, definitely not as tech savvy as Moon Girl.
And in terms of the dinosaur, when you do these voices, obviously you tend, because you've done other voices, is it a challenge to create something new so that way you don't sound like what you've done before that somebody who's known your work can pick out?
Absolutely. That's a great question. Fortunately for some of the other characters, it won't happen with Hulk, for example, or a few others. Nothing is placed in there, but definitely when I've played other creatures and dinosaurs and things like dragons, a lot of those sounds will come up. You know what I mean? You'll hear them, but you won't hear the language. You won't hear specifically what we're doing here. This is like a very specific music going on. You know what I mean? And that's where the artistic fun comes in. It's like showing up with a very strange saxophone and trying to play out the notes that I've been given.
When people do animated work, obviously it's always known that they're doing it from home, and especially when this show was being shot, home, studio, bathroom, who knows. But now you guys getting together, you guys been to the cons where you got to know each other. What's that feeling like when you put something together, but then you get together as a whole later on? Diamond?
Well, it felt great to see Fred again. Me and Fred had worked on the Lion Guard together.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And that was cool. So I was like, oh, Fred's on the show. Like, he's an old friend. I never really got to hang out with him during Lion Guard either, but just to know that there's a familiar name was really comforting. But we did a lot of recordings in a pandemic where you walk in, you have a mask on, and it's a whole procedure that you have to go through. But nonetheless, we got it done and we made history.
Yeah, it was magic to see it all come together and to get to know Diamond better. And also, like you say it's a big yes. Yeah, to be part of this cultural, incredibly relevant, beautiful thing. Yeah, it's great. It's a dream job.
Because of pandemic, we've obviously had an explosion of shows because the streaming services have blown up. So we have a lot more options of what to choose. To end this off, Diamond, what's going to get people to watch, this particular show? Because we have an option, and obviously there's the Marvel lore, and there's you, and there's Fred, and people. You have, each of you have your own fan base. But when people you start telling people, I have the show, what's the sell?
The sell is that there isn't another show like it in history. It's Marvel's first teenage Black girl superhero. Like, there's no other show like this out there. And it's inclusive and it's diverse and it's made with a star-studded cast. I can't even tell you half of the guest stars on the show. It's just star-studded. But yeah, there isn't a show like this that's ever been put out.
So we have 6 episodes for now. We'll get more down the road. We know when it comes to Marvel, there's no such thing as one season. So congrats on this road. It's finally taking off. Former attempts can't get here fast enough. We'll talk down the road. Stay safe wherever you guys are at.
Thank you so much. Great talking to you.
Wilson Morales from Black Women TV. Hello, folks. How's it going?
What's up, Wilson?
Hey. So obviously, it's never easy saying yes to any project, whether it be animated or TV or film. So Gary, you're no stranger to doing projects, or at least a number of them. What led you to say yes to taking on this one and playing the role of Pops?
Laurence Fishburne kept coming to my house. I was like, get away from my house. And he'd crawl in the window. Get out of my window, Laurence Fishburne. Nobody wants your face here at this time of night. And then he wore me down, man. Laurence Fishburne wore me down. No, dude. You see the script and you go, well, this looks good. And this has something to say. And then you just start with that. So it already felt special. But then the more we got into it, once we start seeing some of the animation come back, and then forget it. But it literally just started with, this is a good script. This is a good project. And this really has something to say. It started that simple. Now, I won't say it's overwhelming, but now it really does make you appreciate, like when you see the music and the artwork in it, it really makes you appreciate the great place that you wound up in.
What about you, Libe? When you play the best friend, it's people always say nobody wants to play the best friend. How much do they got to do? But you're here. You got this character. How do you make it into your own?
I mean, I feel like, it's funny. I never obviously Casey's the best friend, but I never looked at her as like she's just the best friend. Because she's like, there's so much life to her, and she's such an interesting character in and of herself. And like I feel like every time, I don't know, from the first time that I got the first like words of Casey's that I said aloud, like her voice just sort of came to me. And then like, from the beginning, the creators of the show were like, we really want to make the dynamic and the friendship between Lunella and Casey very real. And like, we want that dynamic to like come to life. And so Diamond and I record most of our episodes together. And like, from the beginning, from the first time we did that, like, and they were like, you guys just riff off each other, play together. Like it can be messy with overlap, which people never say in cartoons. And we did. And they're really, like, they just really came to life. And I was like, oh, I found Casey.
Gary, whenever we see you, you're with the family, so how do you make Pop stand out?
It's not a matter of standing out for me. The beauty is in that writing. He's at this level to me, like Lunella is out there, like all excited. Mimi is just like putting the hammer down when she needs to. Like everybody kind of has their own music in there. So I get to play my musical level in there. And as I readily admit, I 100% stole from my dad, like the calmness that was in my dad's voice. Like and I don't have that in I'm the loud person in my neighborhood. But taking that, but it's not so much standing out as more of what musical instrument am I playing in this family.
So were you able to film your scenes with other people, or did you do it like in your room, bathroom?
I'm in the bathroom all the time, man. No, I got to do the very first episode with Diamond. Other than that, I think maybe one other time that I get to record with everyone. Today is the first time that Libe and I have even met. Because of the situation that we started doing it in. The most I ever got was if I had questions about something, or I just wanted to see the rhythm people were doing stuff in, I would ask to listen to their voices. So now it's great to be able to just kind of screw around with everybody, like doing these interviews, because we didn't get to do that, in the process of it.
And Libe, as you mentioned, you and Diamond were able to shoot your scenes together. And did you guys get do anything afterwards to establish a chemistry, even though it's animated, so that way we, the audience, see that they're best friends?
Well, it's funny because we recorded the pilot together in 2019, and then a year goes by and something happened in the world, and we got picked up in the depths of like when everything was locked down. And so we recorded together, but by that I mean like I was in my closet that I converted into a recording studio in New York City, and she was in hers in LA. And so like, we got to, and we talked during the sessions and stuff, but because we were in the pandemic, like we couldn't like go out afterwards, and we were across the country. But yeah, but now doing these things at like Comic-Con and stuff, we've spent some time together, and yeah, there's like the like love there is very real.
Well, I'm sure that the fans are looking forward to seeing the show. 6 episodes, but I'm sure we're going to get more because there's no such thing as one season when you're on Disney Plus. So congrats on voices on these characters on the show. We'll talk down the road.
Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it.
Wilson Morales, Black Film and TV. Lawrence, obviously another Marvel project. You can't say no, but this time you have a lot more responsibility here than Ant-Man. So what did I do to come on as an EP and as one of the voices?
Well, my love of comics, quite frankly. I mean, I've been a comic fan since I was a kid, and I was aware of Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur, which is the first sort of iteration of this character. And then I was aware of Moon Girl, and I was lucky enough to meet with Steve, and we share a love for all these things, as well as growing up in New York City, yeah, man, we just found that we had a similar kind of point of view about who this character Lunella Lafayette is and what we could do with her in an animated show.
And Steve, piggybacking off what Lawrence said, when you have 6 episodes and you're stretching it out, but it always takes the first 2 episodes to get that audience in before they tune in for the rest of it. Some are going to be committed no matter what, and then some will say, let's wait and see. What is the challenge of making sure the opening episodes are enough to sell it?
Yeah, you got to make sure that you engage the audience quickly. And in the first couple of episodes of Moon Girl, you see Lunella Lafayette become Moon Girl. And it feels like through the course of season 1, you see her basically craft her skills as a superhero being Moon Girl. And it does feel like as the episodes go on, there's some serialized storytelling. You're going to see, okay, this story is stretching over into the next episode, and this big bad character is in the shadows and is now becoming a major villain through the course of the series. So it does feel like you got to engage the audience early with the love of the character, get them to fall in love with Lunella Lafayette, and then you're on the journey.
Then Lawrence, I remember we spoke right before the pandemic. You were about to do American Buffalo, and obviously it's been a period of time, and we're here now. But in between that wait, did you take some time to perfect the voice of Beyonder?
Well, the Beyonder was really Steve's idea, and it was a little scary for me at first, but after some conversation and well, really, it was the first thing was that when they showed me the drawing of what the character was going to look like, then I was like, oh wait, oh that could be interesting, that could be fun, and then we just kept playing with it and working it, and it felt good. So I don't know if perfection is the word I would use for his voice. But I think we found the sweet spot. Let's put it that way.
Steve, you got an all-star cast coming in and voices. We don't want to be revealing names, but is it an easy sell to get? Like, can you come on and voice this character, that character? You keep dropping names every time I see you on the trades.
Yeah, I mean, it's been exciting to bring in all this new talent, and I think because of Lawrence, we get him on the phone, but because of the show, we get him to commit. I think showing just the visuals, and this is what an episode looks like. Everyone is just so surprised and say, I got to be a part of that. So I think it's absolutely incredible that the show is the draw for a lot of really great actors.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Lawrence? Was it, were you picking up the phone and thinking about like, who can we get? When you see names that at least I'm not spoiler here, Jennifer Hudson and David Diggs and other names that are coming on board. Is that you making a phone call? So listen,
Well, sometimes it's me making a phone call, but more often than not, it's people responding to what we're creating. Steve will send them a sample of something, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm in. I wanna be a part of this." I think it's mostly people responding to Lunella, honestly.
Mhm. And before I end off, since the pandemic, there's been an explosion of a lot of shows, good programs, because we have a lot of streaming services, so now you have network TV, cable TV, streaming programs, so there's a lot of options outside of the cell, Marvel and the talent here. What is the other sell of seeing, Moon Girl and the Dinosaur? Steve?
I think it's a unique show. I think that besides that, it's the first African-American teen girl superhero in the animated Marvel universe is very special and very important and very overdue. I think that we really wanted to make sure that we crafted a show that kids can watch with their parents. The parents will be interested in it because the storytelling is deep. We tackle social issues. We tackle the stories of today, but all with humor and heart and a really amazing music soundtrack.
Well, you guys got it done. February 10th, can't get here fast enough. Obviously, people are going to be tuning in. Congratulations. I know when it comes to Marvel, there's no such thing as one season, so there'll be more. So you have more to create, more to think about, and we'll talk down the road.